care, but we also got to think about the homeless actually out there that you can't find.
That's right.
Say hi and stuff like I run into them, and I'm well aware that we have to have outreach for them. We can't save everybody; we just save who we can. But the thing is, even if it saves a couple of them, it's worth the effort. Because if you don't try, you don't get. So
I think we can do 90%.
Yeah. So I was talking about the Gateway of Hope model in Langley City, where they take them off the street and learn a trade. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where we can start here. Like the Salvation Army is a good provider. They actually have the best use of dollars for a charity. Mm-hmm. They've been known to do that. So.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right.
Get him talking. Whoever's talking, go closer to
that's
what I'm doing.
Okay? Introduce yourself and then tell us what you know about the current issues regarding homelessness and affordable housing, specifically in Surrey.
Hi, Steve Wood, and I'm a former city councillor. I was elected twice in my own community of Campbell River. And I think we need to identify the partners within the city to provide and deliver on the need for more rental stock and the ability to pay for it. And a rent bank with seed money provided for that would be a good start as well. The city should initiate and put in place a rental registry program. This is a moral issue, and it deserves our compassion and our action as a community to try and resolve the challenges. We should look at reinitiating the affordable housing program and consult and negotiate with developers and get them on board on that issue, even if it means revisiting and reviewing development cost charges. The city needs to step up to the plate also with the food banks. It's my understanding that we provide zero funding to the food banks, 15,000 plus people a month using them, so we can do a lot better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Steve. All right. So in 1 minute or less, please introduce yourself, tell us what you know about the current issues regarding homelessness and affordable housing, specifically in Surrey.
My name is Martin Hunt. I have had the privilege of being a councillor here in the city of Surrey, and my background is I have worked with the homeless and the drug addicted on the streets of Vancouver for 8 years. Worked similarly with recovery facilities here in the city of Surrey over the years. I'm on the board of Loop 15, which works with those who are coming out of the prison systems, as well as having various addictions. So I firsthand get involved with it and try to make it be a part of the change. Here in Surrey, we have basically since 2005, the homeless situation has basically been stabilized at just under 400. Last 18 months, we've got 350 some individuals off of the streets into permanent housing. We have 5 workers funded by the federal government to work with those who are on the streets in order to be able to help get the services that they need.
Thank you. And so now understand that each person has 2 minutes and then another 2 minutes, right?
It's okay. This is the first time they're doing it, so this is all. Yeah. Okay, but I would like to hear, because I can use the video and then put the sound with the other one. There's a bit up, I fell.
Developers would be part of the solution to create additional affordable housing.
What they do is, if on the development permit, they do have, I know we villages this thing in False Creek, it was supposed to be social housing, and a lot of it went by the wayside, then they had to go back to market. But if you take a certain percentage of it, you can build a certain amount of social housing. Even if you put the market component in. But basically what it comes down to is NIMBYism. It's not my backyard, so you have this resistance. Certain people do not want that in their neighborhood. So the thing is, we got to take these properties and maybe make a separate area so we don't have this conflict, because developers tend to go and say one thing and do another. There's a lot of backouts in the things that happened at the Newton Bingo Hall. Something was supposed to be built and it never was. It was just a promise, and so it was voted on, and now there's no recompense. So I think we best stick with a program where we have a certain thing, like in Langley City, the YMCA has housing. There's modern, beautiful suites. They're not market rent. They're subsidized, I know, but the thing is, there's the housing that people need, and you can't just leave it up to the marketplace. They're in it to make a profit. We're not trying to profit off every person in society. You can't. There's a cost to everything. So we just have to make sure that maybe some of our money has to be directed to those people. They can't help themselves. They can just do the best they can. So that's the way you have to do it. But you can't force business, because a lot of this capital is foreign based. Money flies around the world so let's just try to get things where certain things like Kinsman Lodge up here.
Thank you.
I'm just listening.
All right. So, what do you intend to do to ensure unscrupulous landlords who exploit the very poor are prevented from doing so?
Okay, different question. I thought we were First of all, I think we need to give some direction to the bylaw enforcement. The city. Put a little bit more challenging enough for people who are in difficult circumstances, and they don't need the additional challenge of worrying of whether the house may burn down or other serious issues like that. So I think we also have to encourage those people in those difficult situations to come to the table, make it comfortable for them to be part of the solution. The best advice we can get is from those people who are in those difficult, challenging situations. And again, it's a moral issue. We're a vibrant, growing community. Things are booming, and we deserve to advocate on behalf of everyone in our community, not just those with a financial interest. Those less fortunate deserve our compassion and our ability to deliver and get some action in place to make life a little bit better for them. Thank you.
We have 40 seconds. Steve, would you like to
On that question. Well, I think it's, in my experience as a former city councillor, your oath to the community is to advocate on everyone. Again, and that's your job. And including setting your personal opinion aside sometimes on whatever the issue is. You are responsible for listening and advocating on behalf of everyone in your community, including those less fortunate and in difficult situations. I've done that, and I've got a long track record of advocating for everyone.
Thank you.
A zoning bylaw regulations that
Given that the federal and provincial governments are responsible for housing, what are two things you might change so developers will be part of the solution to create additional affordable
are there any out there? Are there any successful models that we could see?
I don't know that the word change is exactly the correct word, but let's just look at what is available. Right now, for example, we have partnerships where, for example, we're working with the YWCA in creating affordable housing for women in Newton. Quibble Creek, we're working with the federal and provincial governments for a sobering center, as well as various levels of integrated housing for them, as well as skills acquisition, those sorts of things. We have the Olympic Legacy that is right here in the city center, where we have some of the Olympic Village from Whistler that's being used to house those who are mentally challenged. As we develop the city center here, bonus density is certainly one thing you can do, and I think one of the challenges is that we work within the facilities themselves, rather than have separate housing that is separate and distinct for those who are challenged financially or whatever. have that integrated into the whole building, so you really don't know who's who in the building, because really many of our those who are challenged look just like everybody else. They're very normal. They've just come on some hard luck or some challenges or whatever, and need to be stabilized in it. So I think there's a lot of different things that we can do. We also have the Affordable Housing Fund, which again is there available for partnerships, working with, and I think you use the concept of working with developers. I think it's actually more working with different social agencies, working with different societies, because they're the ones who have much more the motor to do that, and the developer is simply the one who would actually build the building. You need those who are going to operate it and run it afterwards, as well as deal with all the accountability issues afterwards.
Okay, so now you both will have 2 minutes to comment on whatever the other candidates have mentioned, and if you feel like you've commented enough, then I can ask another question or would you like to. All right. So